We all remember back in 2012 when Disney was talking about buying Star Wars and everyone started to make jokes about how Princess Leia was going to be the next Disney princess. Sometime later, we finally got that wonderful female Star Wars character that everyone could rally behind. I am, of course, talking about Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano. For Season 3 of The Mandalorian, Cara Dune was nowhere to be found. So if Lucasfilm values strong female characters, where is Cara Dune? Let's talk about that here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, and if you're watching this video, you probably know exactly what happened to Gina Carano, but I will give you a little briefing anyways. Things were a lot hotter on social media back in the days when Gina Carano let out a tweet comparing an unfortunate situation in the 1930s where citizens would rat out each other in order to appease the government. At the time, Gina Carano's character Cara Dune had been part of a story arc in Mandalorian Season 2 and was rumored to be attached to the Rangers of the New Republic series that Lucasfilm was working on in order to build up the Mandoverse and culminating in a movie in which they all went after Grand Admiral Thrawn. Not long after, though, Gina Carano's contract was not renewed, and at the same time, Lucasfilm released a statement separating themselves from Miss Carano and making it clear that they don't appreciate the kind of person that she is. I visited the Disney parks not long after that, and every storefront I went to, I asked them if they had Gina Carano merchandise. In fact, I saw a lot of people wearing Gina Carano t-shirts in the park. Of course, not official Disney merchandise. They would never appreciate a strong, outspoken female character in Star Wars, would they? And now it seems that because of a fellow YouTuber who maybe wants the heat to die down a little bit, so I won't say his name, that maybe Gina Carano was going to be not only in the Rangers of the New Republic series, but she might have even been related to Princess Leia as part of the storyline. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Let's start that discussion here. I want to talk about one more aspect of this Gina Carano situation. While I don't use the naughty words myself, I do want to point out that Gina Carano did tweet this thing right here saying, this is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive, and she'll have her publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb. Later on, she would also talk about the fact that she was asking for Gina Carano to unfollow YouTubers with unfavorable opinions, which confirms, I got to say, Star Wars Theory was talking about how he was on a blacklist. So this would indicate that maybe there was something to those claims back there. Right. But Culture Casino is here, and this other story here from Bounding Into Comics says that the rumored plans for Gina Carano's Cara Dune was that she was going to be related to Princess Leia, because as we all know in the lore, that Gina Carano was from Alderaan, and the plot details came out for the scrapped Rangers of the New Republic show. Culture, what do you have to say about this? Because this happened in your backyard.
Yeah. No, this was an extraordinary thing. Jade, like I said, I was saying, Jade joined us on Sunday night and really kind of spilled the tea, gave a lot of insight on what was happening behind the scenes. And really, the tweets that we just saw were essentially her describing her experience without describing her experience. She was giving Trey and Matt a preview of what's to come because they'd gone through that. And she basically indicated that YouTube removed the thumbs down feature or the visibility of the numbers because of Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. And while that's all interesting and fun, we also have things that were revealed behind the scenes. You know, Jay talks specifically about some of this stuff. He may or may not have been, willing to go farther than that. I tried to stop him in many occasions during the stream. But we got a lot of insight here. And yes, we were going to get a Cara Dune featured, series. And having her contract not renewed after the series was already kind of, out there was a major blow, not only to Favreau's universe, because it's centered around the characters in the world he was building. Right. It also clearly shows that she was fired for an opinion, a political one. And not to mention the fact that her being related to Leia was going to be genius. Right. So now you have a strong female character that's part of the lineage. That's pretty good stuff. And then,
yeah. And this affected season 3 of Mandalorian, right? Because some of those plot points from Rangers of the New Republic we had assumed had made their way into season 3, but from what you heard, Culture, Jay kind of confirmed that?
Yeah, there was a lot that he kind of alluded to and said specifically. So, this article, if you get a chance to go through it, would be fantastic. But there are more shoes to drop. That's one of the things that Jay said specifically. And that's kind of what I hope Jonas was thinking I was going to talk about. There are emails, maybe hundreds, maybe other forms of communication that are waiting to be revealed.
Yes.
And I fully expect that Gina's just navigating, what her agreement is for as long as it takes for that to expire.
And I'll say that there have been some rumors in the past about who might appear on WDW Pro's channel in the future, and whether or not he actually chooses to appear. There are some questions that might come up about that situation where. Let's say that a lot of people are there's reasons that maybe for the people. I don't want to be here and be too vague, but also I don't want to call.
You're being too vague. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I have no freaking clue what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Let's just say it's going to be really good if the Gina Carano situation ever gets addressed on the WDW Pro channel. Now, the thing that I want to talk about with Gina Carano and with Disney and their current situation, supposedly this is a company that really likes strong female characters.
Oh boy,
and Mandalorian. Go ahead.
No, that was one of the things Jay calls out specifically, because when the comeback that she had, the second nuke that she dropped, whatever you want to call it, or he dropped, I should say, or what she did in a tweet, was that, if they wanted strong female characters, why would they eliminate them? And specifically addressing the person she was addressing on Twitter, but alluding to the fact that Disney does the same thing. If you want these strong female opinionated characters, why do you eliminate the ones that don't agree with you or whatnot? Or anyway, during the course of the show, Jay talked specifically about the criticism that she got and why she responded that way, and especially to the person that's being given preferential treatment despite limited following. So if you don't think that they only want positive information out there and they try to get all others banned, the illustration is out there of the person that basically attacks women who have firsthand experience and knowledge of the matter down to the ground. And that was an amazing comeback. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jonas.
No, you're good. The thing that I wanted to throw in here is that Disney knows how building a female audience works, and they tried to circumvent this system. And I don't know why they tried to circumvent the system. They know that men have to be interested in something with an action, something that is more geared towards action or superhero films or even the fantasy genre. In order to get women will go with their husbands, boyfriends, male friends, or whatever to go see a movie that is more male centered, because they generally are more informed on these topics. It's generally movie and ticket sales are generally driven by men, with a few exceptions. I'm speaking in generalities here, but women will go along. With Disney Plus, they had this moment in the first episode where people are showing up for the Mandalorian. You have this John Wayne type character who reminds everybody of Boba Fett. He's in this silver armor. He's this great Western style. He's slightly samurai. And at the end of the episode, what do they have show up on screen? Baby Yoda. And all of a sudden, they have the greatest merchandise meal ticket they have ever had. It has caught them completely unprepared. Whether or not merchandisers were just not up with it yet or not, people were scouring the internet for Baby Yoda merchandise. I had a Chibi Yoda thing that people thought was a Baby Yoda thing for a long time. So I was getting lots of questions about, where'd you get Baby Yoda merch? So Baby Yoda started to wane at the same time that you have this character of Cara Dune, who is a tough woman, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody has noticed this. Gina Carano is a very good-looking woman that also appeals to women, whether or not that's attractiveness or just the fact that you've got a woman who is, let's say, not the traditional Disney princess body type, but you have someone, I don't want to say that she's more approachable, but she's not the typical Belle Cinderella look. So you have a diversity of body types. She's dark featured. She's tough. She's strong, and she's a soldier. And guess what? She's going to be a princess on some level. So just wait for all those memes. You remember when people said, well, isn't Princess Leia now a Disney princess? They had this entire merchandising arm here with female fans getting interested in Cara Dune. Men were going to show up for the Rangers of the New Republic series in the same way that men showed up for a chick show with The Witcher. And they just said, you know what? We don't like the fact that you are making comparisons, accurate comparisons with a situation. How dare you compare our political party with something that was going on within the population of Germany? And not even the soldiers, just the population in Germany in the 1930s. No, we're gonna say no to all this merchandising because maybe we don't like you very much. What in the world are they thinking?
I think it's very interesting that they say they want strong, independent females on screen, but then when you have somebody that is actually the embodiment of that in real life, they don't want that. They would much rather have the Rachel Zeglers of the world, which is the exact opposite of that. So, what they proselytize or what they put out there in terms of what they are saying that they want, what they're virtue signaling that they want, isn't quite consistent with reality in this case, and that is a fascinating case study here.
Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. If you like this video, of course, consider hitting the like button. And if this is the kind of topic that interests someone that you might know, consider sharing this. And if you enjoy what we're doing here on That Park Place, subscribe for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.